Welcome to your Universal Group Site Inspection Training. This training is very important to collect information from the field and to set a culture of safety. First, go to your homepage. Find the Sharepoint app. From there, find your Supervisors tab and click on that. From there, the top left, click on the three lines, go down to Site Inspection. Click on Site Inspection. From there, hit the plus icon, and then you'll see Add New Item to List. Click on that. Punch in the employee's name. Make sure that you get the employee's name correct and the correct spelling in there. Pick the division with which you're in for the inspection. Put down the proper street address, the closest one to the work zone, and then put in the city. Do the province, go to contractor. Hopefully your choice will be on this list. Make sure you search the list first before going to the next option, which is to punch in automatically. Put in your site reason for visit, site follow-up, random site, operational call-out. Make sure we get this information correct. And there can only be one reason for work call-out. Here again, pick the top work type only. There may be multiple, but pick the top one. Work description, again, pick the top work description. Only one will do here. Type of roadway, this is very important for the risk assessment to make sure that the workers have done their risk assessment correctly. So, pick that. Estimated volume, this is just an estimate. Specific hazards to the work zone. Here you can pick multiple hazards in the work zone. And one thing we want to remember is we're also looking for controls at this time. If we identify a hazard, is it being controlled? Weather conditions, very important again. Let's make sure we get that. Night work, that's important. Do we have visibility for these workers? Speed limit, remember that at 70 kilometers and over we require a speed reduction. Is the TCP ticket on the employee? Take a picture of it as well. Traffic control plan provided. Remember, if that traffic control plan isn't provided, we have a responsibility to ensure that the employer has developed that. And then we go to the FLRA, make sure that's complete. Make sure everybody's got the FLRA complete and everybody has signed off on the FLRA. Occupation, you want to know whether it's a TCP or LCT or a mentor. Is the employee alert? Very important to understand if the employee is alert. Wearing proper PPE, we understand those requirements. Using communication. Sight lines, very important again to understand what the sight lines are. Escape route. Do the people have an escape route? If not, we got to control it and make sure that we tell them about their escape route. Then in the work zone setup, is the work zone compliant with the MOT standards and WorkSafe BC regulations? Very important that we have a corrective action in place if it is not in compliance. This is where we go, who is the TCS, Traffic Control Supervisor? We need to understand that the site superintendent or the foreman cannot be the traffic control supervisor. But one has to be designated, and it has to be designated by the client or the prime contractor. This is going to be a difficult conversation going forward, but we have to address it politically, remembering that we're servicing the client. So we have to identify who that traffic control supervisor is, and we need to understand that they're in charge of the controls. We can't work unless the controls are in place. such as an administrative control, the traffic plan, the field level risk assessment, but the supervisor ultimately is responsible to make sure that these things are in place. There'll be more information and discussion on that supervisor role going forward. If you're not clear following this presentation, talk to the safety advisor. Corrective action required. And then inspector comments right in there. You're going to want to put what your corrective action was. So make sure that those corrective actions help the workers. This is positive reinforcement. We want to make sure that we've solved the problem when we get out. Make sure we create full circles with these corrective actions, and training is almost always required. Then we want to identify LCT potential. So this is very important to keep our organization running, to be able to identify those shining stars and get them up into vehicles. Mentor potential as well from those LCTs. They need to be an LCT first before they become a mentor. And then, is there an investigation required? Good catch, near miss, full investigation. Those are the different types of investigations that we have. And we need to make sure that all investigations are conducted and completed. And compliance. Is compliance issued? Is compliance required? We need to make sure that we follow up with that, and we follow up with HR if compliance is ordered. And then we have the different types of non-compliance issues. Let's stick with one, and the one major one here. There may be multiple areas of non-compliance on a site. We really want to stick to one as a rule, but if there's multiple, we can put it down, but typically try and stay with one, because it's going to come out in our data better, and we're going to be able to create better solutions going forward from that. Did you provide that field training? Again, what type of field training? And we are going to have practices or documents on each one of these field training type things based on safety bulletins. So we'll get those ready for you, and you'll have those when you get out on site as well. And then a quick description of the training that you provided. Just a couple words down that go beyond just a tick box. Make sure that you put some personal notes on there on what you did with the person and how they responded to that training and education. Very important. Above and Beyond program, we want to categorize that there, and we want to make sure we take a picture of the person for the Above and Beyond award, and just to attach any other images that we get that are pertinent to the inspection or the investigation. We want to make sure that we take pictures from a distance, so because it's easier to zoom in on a picture than you can't zoom out on it. So make sure you take it from a distance, make sure you take it from all angles. Don't be afraid to take too many pictures. Really important to get the pictures in these inspection processes. While this was a quick overview of the inspection process, we've tried to break it down and make it as simple as possible for you, and as simple as possible for us to collect data so that we can create change and affect a safety culture change in the organization. We really want to make sure that we get that through in these inspections. So now you see you've got that completed inspection. Check it over, make sure you've got everything, make sure everything's saved. And you're going to go into the good catch. Because you identified an issue on site and you've done an investigation, a good catch near miss report will automatically be generated. So you want to go and check that to make sure everything's all right, and you can see that your comments are in there, and that a link to the inspection is in there. The other thing that it links to is non-compliance. So you want to double check and make sure that non-compliance has been done. Okay, we see that not filling out FLRA. So that's great, and all your notes are there and the link's gone to it. Now there, discipline recommended. So if you go back in there after you've created your inspection report, you've got the non-compliance and you want to recommend discipline, you got to bounce into the non-compliance program and then put down that you recommend discipline for the reason of either a high-risk violation, bullying and harassment, a third offense, or not reporting, behavior, attitude. These are all things that we really want to stem quickly. We want to make sure that we address them with HR and with the employee. Then our training log. So what's great about this is everything falls in line. We get these full circles without having to go and put the data in each one of these lists. So now we've gone to the site, we've done our inspection, we've identified a non-compliance, we've completed an investigation, the non-compliance was filled out, discipline was recommended, and we've got a training log that shows the training that we're completing. This is a complete full circle. And this is what we're talking about for culture in safety and changing behavior. So thank you very much again for going through this course. It's very essential that we do this and that we all understand these complete full circles. We do not get change and we do not affect any better management if we just let non-compliances slide. We want to address them right away. We want to provide positive reinforcement, positive education, positive touches out in the field with our employees. Then we can monitor and track behavior, provide training where required. These are all essential things. And remember to give the above and away cards away as well. It's a full circle, it's a positive reinforcement program, and we've been seeing great results. And if we keep on this path and we all work together, we're going to be very successful at our jobs. Again, thank you very much. Keep up the good work.